Well, thanks so much, guys. So we are going to start with this, the first part of the speaking test. Before I continue, both of you, are you ready? Can we start?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, so for part one, student A and student B will going to be telling us a little bit more about yourselves. So I will prefer to start with Steph and then we continue with Nicole, student A and student B, and that will be for the whole rest of the exercises, okay?
Okay.
So for the first one right here, we have Steph. Well,
Yes.
pretty much tell me in 2 minutes, what have you enjoyed most about learning English, and what forms of entertainment do you prefer?
Okay, so I think those two questions are connected in my case because some of the things that motivated to learn English and to move towards this level of English were actually some of my interests in TV, in cinema, in music. For example, some series that are only available in English were some of my biggest motivation about English. So that's one of the parts that I've been enjoying a lot because I've been learning stuff about the culture, about some of the mannerisms in English, some of the pronunciation that I've learned have been due to the entertainment that I've been consuming, and that is mostly available in English. But I think about preferences. Some of the genres that I enjoy a lot are actually horror and terror, which I think so much people do not understand the difference between those two terms. But it's mostly about what scares you. If what scares you is actually someone, or if it is something, that's how you can understand what is horror and what is terror. So
Okay.
those are my favorite genres about in entertainment. But in music, I think some of my favorite bands or themes in general about music would be surrounding metal and alternative music. That's something that I enjoy a lot. So those are my favorite forms of entertainment. Mostly movies and music.
Okay. Thank you. Student student B, thank you so much for that. Well, please continue with this elaborating to me. Are you working or studying at the moment? And why is English an important language to learn these days? Go ahead.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, the question will be, are you working or studying at the moment? And why is English an important language to learn these days?
Okay, thank you. Well, right now I'm doing both activities. Unfortunately, I have to work on a morning shift. I'm teaching English for elementary, secondary, and high school students. And I think it's a very good job. I really enjoy these different in ages. And during the afternoon, I have to go to school. I'm still finishing my major. I have two more subjects that I need to approve, and some other, work to finish it right there. And why do I think that English is useful and important to learn during these days? Mm, Probably it's because it's like the most popular or useful language all over the world. I mean, if you're traveling abroad, it doesn't matter if you don't speak the language of that country. If you speak English, that will be helpful for you. Uh, that is in the case of like entertainment, but also for work. When you speak a language like English, you will have more opportunities to get a better job. So I think that will be the mainly reasons. Also, I think in education, you have like an enormous sources that you can use to do research, to learn, and have access to different courses. So I think that will be the mainly purpose of learning English.
Thanks so much. All right. So let's continue with the following part. In this case, we are going to talk about some pictures that we are going to have in front. Here are some pictures of people who have achieved their ambitions. Look at pictures A and B and talk together about the different ambitions that they illustrate. For those and to check about everything in general for these pictures, you have 1 minute and it's going to be together. All right?
Okay.
All right. So first, please take a quick look on the pictures and let me know when you're ready.
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 Alrighty. So mm, we start with a step and then we continue with the goal, okay? You have one
Okay.
minute. You can start now.
So I think it's very clear that one of the guys that has achieved his ambition is that politician-looking guy that is wasting his money away. I think it's a very good representation of what someone can achieve and how it doesn't, how sometimes it is not a true good, mm, uh, through good ways to get this ambition, or well, to get the goal from your ambition. So I think that's a most clear case about ambition. What do you think about it, Nicole?
I think the pictures portrayed what ambitions represent for different people. So for
Mhm.
some people, ambitions can be like this type of famous to be recognized all over the world. But for all other, it could be just like to have your family, to be a, like you don't need to be famous to be ambitious on something. And for example, in picture letter C, this man has like probably a lot of money, or I don't know what is he like, fire in his hand. And yeah, so I think that they represent different meanings of ambitions.
Thank you. Appreciate that. For the following part, it will be now. Look at all the pictures. And in this case, imagine that you have been asked to write an article for a website about the kind of ambitions that young people have today. These pictures are being considered as illustrations of your main point in the article. So, in general terms, about the whole thing, talk about if you were going to write an article about it, like what kind of ambitions you have for young people today. Then decide which picture illustrates the most common ambition of young people today. Alrighty?
Yes.
So, do you have any questions about this?
No.
Alright. Now, with this one, we're gonna start. Nicole, you start. Then, Steph, you continue, okay? You have 3 minutes to do this. And let's go, okay? Ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think that nowadays, teenagers and young people are focusing on this like online era. So for this reason, probably the most representative picture will be letter A. Like they try to be famous, like build a career on TikTok instead of be a professional or different type of career. So I think picture A is the best one. I don't know what you think, Steph.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think newer generations concentrate a lot more on what they can achieve through entertainment and through this labor of becoming famous really fast with how available this fame can be. So I think, yeah, letter A represents a lot more what newer generations can consider as their ambition. But I also think letter E encapsulates this feeling of something that can be their their educational prowess. So I think letter E also encapsulates this feeling of what ambition can be for newer generations. Maybe they are trying to achieve something like getting a major, getting a degree. So I think letter E also encapsulates this. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I think we can combine them. Like on this side, like this new idea of ambitious, and
Mhm.
like the one that we already know, right? Like the follow the common pattern that will be do your major, be a successful people on your on the career you choose, and another one that I think that it will be important or that I think that represents it will be letter D. You know, like a lot of male, mostly males. I wouldn't say that just males, also women, but they want to be like really good and famous about sports. At least in my country, well, here in Mexico, it is very common. Like men want to be like football players and be successful at that. So I think that it's also a good picture.
Yeah, especially I think it's something that occurs a lot with male teenagers, male young adults that decide that maybe exercising and progressing at the sport will get them a lot of success in their lives. So I think I agree with letter D. So yes, in this case, it would be like fame, education, and
Sports.
health, or yes. But I think the one that definitely does not match with newer generations would be letter B, because looking at the rates of how much people want to actually have children or have a family in the future, I think it's a little this ambition. It's not that common anymore
Thank you.
with newer generations.
Thank you so much, both of you. Now we're going to go to part three. In this case, I'm going to choose pretty much there's a question over here. Candidate A, in this case, we talked and discussed about it that the step you're candidate A. And then, well, pretty much candidate B, you need to talk about the statement that we have right here. So the statement that we have is, can it ever be justifiable to tell a lie to friends and family? Discuss about it, elaborate it, and then after that, candidate B will have to pretty much give an opinion. Candidate A, you continue pretty much the task with saying something like, do you agree? What do you think? How about you? And pretty much after that, you elaborate that topic. Okay? For the situation,
Okay,
candidate A will have 2 minutes, candidate B, 1 minute. Alrighty?
okay.
Thanks so much.
So
So now, if you're ready, we can start. Ready?
yes.
Let's go.
So can it be ever be justifiable to tell a lie to friends or family? I think it can be justifiable, and that's because sometimes you want to protect not only their feelings but also their beliefs. The kind of lies that you can tell to a family that won't actually harm them in a physical way or maybe in an emotional way can be the kind of lies that can be justifiable and can be deemed as good. For example, if you have a probably a sick family member, you don't want to hurt them feelings by telling them how bad they are. You would rather concentrate on the good parts of their medical report and tell them that instead of actually telling them every single part of their medical report and probably worry them, making their healing process even more difficult. So I think it would that's the kind of lie that could have a good result and that wouldn't actually hurt their feelings or hurt them in a bad way. So what do you think about that, Nicole? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes we have to tell white lies. to our family or friends, as you say, it's just like to know when when it's good to say it. Like if someone is asking you how do they look, you are not going to say something rude to them, even if they are not looking very well. So it is important just to know when to tell them and how to do it, and also to know that some of the lies are justifiable and some of them are not. That we it is important to also say the truth.
Thank you so much. Alrighty. For the following one, we're going to start with candidate B. Candidate A, you reply and elaborate also. We are going to start with what kinds of people are the most dishonest in society. Nicole, are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you. We're gonna start now.
I wouldn't like to say that there is a specific group of dishonest people in society. I think it will be depends of a lot of things, but there are certain jobs that involve lying or developing this ability or lie, and I think the most common one will be politicians. Even though their jobs shouldn't imply lying, they should be saying the truth for society. They do. They lie and they try to convince people to gain their support. So I think that will be the mainly job that involves lying. But there is another one very common that is lawyers. I'm not sure if that is lying or pretending or what will be the difference, but because of their jobs, they sometimes have to come up with ideas or have to on how to protect their clients. And well, that would be like the principal jobs that involve lying. And this can have a negative effects on society because we englobe these like jobs are like dishonest people, and sometimes for us it's difficult to trust in them. So I think it's a hard problem. Um, that will be everything. I don't know what you think about Steph.
Yes, I do agree. Lawyers and politicians are some of the most common liars out there because it's so easy to believe in them because you think of them as authority figures sometimes. So that's why people tend to believe and rely on them to give a verdict. So that's why it's kind of harmful for them to lie, but they keep doing it anyways because they benefit from those kind of lies, whether it is for like personal gain, monetary support, or just societal support. That's why they might feel inclined to lie in those cases. And I would add to that bunch also sellers. Sometimes enlightening your product too much can fall into the category of lying. So,
Thank you so much. Alrighty. After discussing that, for the last part of this exercise will be that we're gonna have a little discussion between you two. I'm going to pick up two questions about this, and then after that, together, you will need to elaborate back and forth. What do you think about these questions? And well, pretty much elaborate your answers about it. Okay? So, since the last one that started was Nicole, Steph, you're gonna start with this one. Now, for the discussion, I will pick only two of them. You will have 4 minutes, and you can elaborate about it. Okay? So, the first question is, why might someone want to believe something that is not true? And what can people gain from telling lies? You can start now.
okay, so why make someone want to believe something that is not true? That's because sometimes it protects your view about your reality and what you believe. It's better to believe something an authority figure tells you because you rely on them and you trust them in giving you a result and giving you information that you might not know. So that's why someone might feel inclined to believe in something, even if they don't actually seem sure about what they're saying, even if you can sometimes detect the lie in a word or in their movements. um you might feel inclined to actually believe them, and 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 this is something very harmful because you don't actually know what they can gain from lying to you, especially when we're talking, for example, about medics. uh, Lying to a patient is something that should be unforgivable, at least for medics, because they should actually tell you what is happening with your body. What do you think about that, Nicole? Why do you think someone might feeling want to believe a lie?
I think there are two principal reasons for this. The first one is that sometimes you are not ready to face the truth. As you say,
Mhm.
for example, with medical conditions, many parents try to avoid the diagnostics of their kids because they are not ready to face the reality of that they are may have a negative diagnostic of that. So I think that that would be a good reason for believe a lie. But also, I think because sometimes people don't want to do the effort on their own to research the reality. As you say, with politics or figures authorities, when they tell you something, instead of look the information for yourself, you decide just to believe in what they are saying to you. So I think that sometimes it's because you're not ready to face the truth or because you don't want to do an effort to look for more information.
In the case of politicians, I think there's also the fear factor of actually looking for information. If they're telling you some sort of information, it's because they want to avoid something else. They want to protect some kind of information and keep it a secret from you. So that's why instead of actually researching and wanting to learn the truth, you are more inclined to believe the lie because you don't know what could happen to you and why
Yeah,
they want to keep that a secret.
yeah, as we know, being, for example, journalists could be dangerous, right? So look for the reality of what is happening on the country could be dangerous for them. I don't know if you're okay if we've moved to the other question. There is, what can people gain from telling lies?
Yes.
Well, if you, I think that if it's a white lie, you are not really gaining something. You are just protecting someone from feeling
Mhm.
bad. But there are some people who can be very manipulated, and so if you tell them a lie, you're probably obtaining something that they wouldn't give you if they know the
Mhm.
truth. So I don't know, what do you think, Steph?
Yes, I think actually I think with white lies you can get some sort of you can get reliance from someone else, whether it is a good reason why you're lying or not. That's something that happens with lies, but yeah, very manipulative and actually what's the word, narcissistic people can actually get a lot from lying to others and to gain their their reliance and the ability to trust someone, which is very bad, especially depending on their profession. If they're again politicians, if they're probably the police, you want to trust someone. So the
Yeah.
fact that they're actually lying to you to gain probably money to get your trust is something very shady.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Alrighty. So for now, pretty much we're done. Thank you so much for that, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.
thank you.
Thank you.
Te dejo ya esto, ya lo busco ahorita. Les paso el linkcito para que lo puedan subir. Yo creo que lo voy a subir a YouTube, para que no haya ningún problema. Y se los hago llegar al ratito. No me tardo con una hora en lo que se sube el video, yo creo más o menos. Y ya está, ¿va?
Okay, va.
Okay.
Vale, pues.
Thank you.
Nos vemos. Fíjense. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.